I missed that.
10 years old and 8
10
years old.
years. Okay, 10 and 8. Okay, awesome. Yep, others you would like to share, please come on mic. Avani, you want to share a quick introduction of yours?
Okay. I'm Avani and I like craft with cardboard and yeah, and I like to cook and make desserts and I like climbing too. Yeah.
And which city are you from, Avani, and how old are you, if you want to share that part?
I'm 10 years and I'm from Bangalore.
Awesome. Okay, so that's, thank you, Avani. Others, would you like to share? We have Tulika, Navilan, Sharmila, and yes, we have our own Dviji. So please go ahead and share a little about yourself. If you can come on video, that would be really nice.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, this is Sharmila, and I am very new to Arohi's thing.
Sure.
And morning only, I got to know about all those things. I was planning for something to with for my kid to do some learnings. So he's 3.5 years old, and I am not yet sure of his schooling and all those stuff. So I'm getting knowledge about all those things using this pandemic time.
Sure, awesome.
You guys are doing awesome job. This is not a simple one to do, and you are all making us to learn all those things. And Avani, you're so sweet.
Thank you, Sharmila.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm always very excited when parents of the younger age group, 2, 3, 4 years old, come, because to me they are already open learners, or not just open learners, they are voracious learners. So naturally, so it's so amazing to have them around and to actually learn from them how to learn. I think they are the best teachers to teach us how to learn, because they're learning like all the time. Amazing.
Yeah, they're making us also to learn.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, anybody else? Tulika, Navilan, would you also like to share a quick word about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tulika. So my son is 8.5 years old. Can you hear me?
Yes, please carry on, Tulika.
So my son is 8.5 years old, and he goes to a school. He's pretty much like adjusted and this thing. But sometimes I feel, there is something else, that he wants to discover for himself. And sometimes I am not able to understand it in a proper way. So this open learning thing, something I came across quite recently. I heard it from some of my friends while I was traveling all these few months. So that has given me some interest, to know more about it and to see how it is, something that, it can lead for a child to learn, even to greater, for greater understanding and, to get to the source of their own, it's to inspire them to learn on their own. So that is what I am looking for this discussion today from you.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Smita, would you like to introduce yourself and
Ye-
Navilan. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Smita Hegde. I'm myself. That's it. I'm presently not working because I thought it is um, the most important that that I give my time to my children and
Mhm.
make myself better.
Mhm.
So I gave up my career for that. So I'm finding options to pursue my career in not such a great scale, but freelancing, um, freelancing part time for a not and not involve myself too much into that.
Sure, sure. And parenting full time.
Yes, not anything full time.
It's an amazing career, right? Most people don't talk about parenting as a career, but I think it's an amazing career, right?
And I'm
So how old
working
are
on,
you? Yeah, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry. I'm working on homeschooling my youngest one now,
Mm-hmm.
and I was planning from since 3 4 years that I want to remove her from the school.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not very confident that I could do it on my own. So right now, this pandemic has taught us so many lessons that yes, I took it up very seriously this year, and next year she will be homeschooling with me, and my
Okay.
whole family are going to help me with this.
Superb. Yes, yes, it's all about family. And in your career of parenting, how old are your bosses?
Uh, Pardon me.
I said, in your career of parenting, how old are your bosses?
Okay, my first boss is my husband. He's 52, and my second one is my eldest son, and he's 18.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing NIOS.
Okay.
Again, he's also homeschooling since his 8th grade. And my second one is 16, and myself
I was more
41.
referring to the children. They are the bosses, right?
Yes, they are the
When it
bosses.
comes to parenting, they are the bosses.
Yes, of course. And my youngest boss is 7.
Ah, okay. Okay. Nice, nice. So you have 3 bosses.
Yes.
Good, awesome. Okay. Who else we have? Yes, we have Afreen joining and Navilan. Right. And it would be nice if you can on the video so we can make a visual connect too. And yeah, you can come on mic and share. Yeah.
Hi, this is Early. I joined last week also.
Sure, early. Yeah.
Yeah, I last week was the first session. I mean, I attended. I was so inspired, and other than my doubts and the things I wanted to learn, I got a lot of information from other people who discussed here. So I thought, why not join today also?
Great, great, great to have you.
So I'm from Bangalore, and I have two children. One is 5 years old, and another is just 8 months old. Yeah.
Super. Thank you, Early. Yeah, Afreen, go ahead, please. I thought your mic was unmuted. Would you like to share just a word about you?
Hello, this is Afreen.
Yes, Afreen, we can hear you.
Good evening, sir. This is my first webinar for homeschooling. And I have been thinking of homeschooling. I have 2 kids. One is 4.5 and one is 2.5. But due to this pandemic, I live in a remote place where the schooling options are very, very less, very limited. We just have one school, and I was not much convinced about it. It has been years I have been searching for schooling, how to teach my kids. So even my husband, before my kids were born, he was very much concerned about their education because of his his own experiences. But I was very much concerned about their education, and finally, after discussing with many people and my relatives also, I've decided for homeschooling my kids. I've started a few activities with my elder one. The younger one is too young to teach. So, yes, I
Your
have.
voice is little low. If you can be a little closer to the device, that would be better.
Is
Yeah,
it
now
audible
it's
now?
now it's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I have started. I am looking forward to, get ideas how to start the homeschooling for my kids, because it's very difficult with both of them. They are too small to, do the household work also, and then I have to see everything. But I am looking forward to it. I will be, for surely I'll be doing homeschooling. I'll be doing some
Sure.
homeschooling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Dwiji, you want to put in a quick word? If you are there, I see you logged in. Okay, Dwiji is not responding. Maybe he'll come on in some time. So Dwiji is also one of the community parents of Arohi.
Yeah, sorry,
Ah,
sorry, folks. I'm actually outdoors in my parents' place, helping
no
some
problems.
people's climb. So my name is Dwiji. I don't know if I don't see my video. Anyway, I just turned it on. I don't know if it's working.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and it has
working.
been as well. Okay, just a quick introduction. My name is Dwiji. I have been a part of the ROA community for about 3 years now, and my daughter is about 11 years old now, and she has been open learning, self-directed learner for about 5 years now, and I have been a self-directed learner for about 40 years now. Yeah, thank you, and look forward to the discussion. And I need to go indoors.
Sure. You take your time. What I'll do is, as usual, I'll do a quick introduction to open learning in about 5-7 minutes, and or maybe about 10 minutes. And then we can have as many questions and answers and all the discussions. And you can also ask Avni about her journey, and you can ask Dwiji about his journey, and so on. Right. So very quickly, uh, um, before we get on with talking about open learning, we just want to clarify that there are many terms that people use. Somebody says open learning, somebody says unschooling, homeschooling, free schooling, home education, road education. There's so many terms. What is really important is not these terms. You can call whatever journey you are on by whatever name. What is important is to realize that we are always on this continuum. You could either be on one end with no structure, no curriculum, the child designing his or her life, or you could be on the other end, structured school with a curriculum-driven approach, or you could be somewhere in between, or you could be even moving. Let's say you are less structured, then you move to more structure, then you again come back to open, then you again move back to school, and so on. So there can be a lot of movement over a period of time based on the child's needs, based on the family's needs. And the whole idea is to be open to explore what works for you, what helps you achieve whatever you want to have as part of your family objectives, and also keeping in mind the child's need, right? So that's just to also establish that let's not get lost in terms. We would be using the term open learning, which is more of what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. We started our journey many years back with the question, about 20 years back, with the question that what is the purpose of education? And somehow when we look around, we feel or think that most of the education is designed for learning or earning. But those two answers didn't really, strike us as very exciting. What was really meaningful for us is that education is for living, or it is life. Actually, there is no difference between the word living and education and learning. We think all three of them are synonyms. And neither education ever ends nor living ever ends till we obviously die off. And so does learning. So there is no difference. And if there's no difference, and if from day one, when the child is born, to the time we all die, if we are all the time living and learning, then why not let the learner lead his or her life? right? So that's the first thought that struck to us. Hey, the child and the adult and the young adult, everybody, whether you are 18, whether you are 8 years or 8 months, you can be the leader of yourself. In fact, when I look at children who are 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they are naturally leaders of their own learning. They don't depend on you. They learn a mother tongue. They learn how to walk, how to talk, how to eat. They are constantly looking into things. So they're born learning leaders, or rather living leaders, I would say. Yeah, it's only later on we say, no, 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 now you can't be the leader of your learning. You need to get into. So we say, no, no, no. Why can't we let them lead themselves and continue that leadership? So some of you were sharing, oh, what kind of activities I do, and I'm thinking about activities. I would say, wait, let the leader lead. Let the child lead you what the child wants to do. You don't have to bring activities. At least that's in my experience. We don't have to bring experience. We have to just go along with the child. And well, the world is there for the child to explore. Yeah, and we'll talk about that more when we get into discussion. So all of this leads us to think about, hey, do we want to free the child of any curriculum and let the child decide what the child wants to learn, wants to do, wants to enjoy? So that's the first thought related to open learning. We kind of remove all these barriers or constraints, and we let the child explore what the child is interested in. And not just what the child is interested in, how the child wants to go about it. The child could be learning from a teacher, from a friend, from a YouTube video, or just doing it. By doing, the child can figure it out. Yeah. So the child becomes the leader, not just in terms of what to learn, but also how to learn. And also the child starts assessing himself or herself, which becomes a lifelong skill, because self-assessment or self-reflection is something that we are going to use it all of our life. And finally, the child then looks at the world as a world full of options. And options means that I don't necessarily have to have a degree or a college. If I want, if I need, if it makes sense to me, I go for a college or a degree or a school. But if I don't, then I can just go about living my life the way I want to. I can work with different people, do apprentice internships, or learn from different kinds of courses, people, places, and so on. There's really no limit to what one can learn when one wants to learn something. Yeah. So that is what is open learning. And I want to play a very quick 1-minute video about some children talking about their life at Arohi, who are all open learners. Let's see what they are saying. This is a quick 1-minute video made by one of the Arohi children. Arohi child, sorry.
Connecting with people is amazing.
I like chit-chatting with my friends while eating.
An opportunity to take all the guests around the tour, around the campus.
Currently, I'm working on improving myself so that I can play in a club next year.
I get resources and support to fulfill my passion for sketching.
I sketch many things of animals, birds.
In Arohi, I'm a guest and I can find my space here, pursuing my interest on upcycling.
I drum to express my emotion and it makes me feel lighter. In bird watching, I learn a lot of things. What is color of bird, and
I like the time when I spend with the community playing sports.
I spend time doing projects related to cinematography and video editing.
I like organizing trips in Arohi क्योंकि your opportunity is to organize trips.
Video making is awesome. It's productive and you get an awesome outcome.
I like to do electrical work. I've put many.
I connect with the planning here. Gives me clarity.
I like playing with the cats. I learn crochet and teach others crochet.
எனக்கு சமைக்கிறதுக்கு இங்க ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். All the resources here are new to me to explore.
Right. So you got an idea about what open learners think, and they're just thinking about their interest and growing their interest. And the beauty of it is all of this is happening in a community. So Arohi is, you can say, a kind of a community of open learning families where we all come together, we connect with each other, children with adults, adults with other adults, children with other children. Everybody's connecting based on their interests. We collaborate with each other, do things together. We support, guide, mentor each other, not just adults guiding children, but children guiding adults, children guiding children, and so on. And yeah, the whole idea is to co-create and kind of co-learn together and co-live together, actually. Yeah, that's an integral part of open learning, where it's not about one person driving the learning or a group of people driving learning, like in school where they're teachers to drive the learning, but everybody like together, helping, supporting, doing together, and so on. Which is why when some of you are saying, hey, how do I start open learning or homeschooling or unschooling, I would say, great, you already have a team at home. You have children, you have your spouse. That's a lovely team. You all have to co-create it. It's not one person's responsibility. It's a teamwork. It's everybody's responsibility, and everybody does it together. Right? That's the beauty, and that's what makes to us the open learning so much more fun. So just to end this little spiel, we have two ways of the community coming together. One is obviously at our campus, which is right now closed because of the COVID situation. But when it's open, any family can come for any amount of time. Any child can be here. Any adult can be here. As I said, for any amount of time, starting at any point, ending at any point. It's totally open. As well as we have an online virtual community where we meet every day, different people doing different things with different people at different timings based on their interests. So yeah, these are the two ways in which the community kind of connects and kind of lives and learns together. Right, so let me stop here and invite you for a discussion. You can ask questions. You can, first of all, let me invite you. More people can come on video. That would be nice. Yeah. And Avni is also asking the same thing. And thanks, Avni. And yeah, and we can all chit chat about what are we thinking, what are our questions, what we would like to know from this group. And as much as Avni and me and Vijay can answer your questions, we are here. Plus, I'm sure other parents can also answer questions of each other. And we have a few more people who have joined in. Arundhati and Indira, welcome. Others introduce themselves at the beginning, so maybe you can introduce. But we would like more videos to be on so that we can. That would be nice if as many videos can be on. If you just can't on your video, that's also okay. Yeah, and we can start with anybody asking question, anybody throwing a thought or an experience, anything. We normally keep a theme every Saturdays. Today's theme is more to do with children creating their own future in open learning, not depending on a system, but they creating their own future. So that's the underlying theme. Not that you have to start with that. You can start with any thought or question. Yeah.
Ratnesh, can I take a minute?
Please.
And just talk about the theme?
Lovely.
Yeah. So, folks, the idea of open learning is that children or an adult, whoever is interested in learning something, identifies what they want to learn and then seeks out the resources that they need in order to achieve the targets that they have set for themselves. So, in effect, what we are saying is that as an open learner, we encourage, we nourish, we nurture the tendency to create your own future. So you are deciding what you do, how you do, when you do, and with whom you do, and all those things, right? So when we say prepare for the future, somehow we feel there is a definite future for which everyone should prepare, which if you think about it is not really true. I mean, whether I like pav bhaji or I like cutlet or I like samosa or I like pizza, there are a lot of things that children like. So likewise, somebody might like physics, somebody might like algebra, and somebody might like Kathakali. So the idea of a definite future that everyone has to meet up to, the problems with it we all recognize. But we should also go the next step and recognize that when we unplatform the idea of a definite future, then who builds that future? And that's the beauty of the open learning ideas and principles that we value and practice in the Arohi community, where we say that the child, the learner, builds that future, and therefore they create their future. They don't prepare for a future. So that's the theme, that was the thought process behind identifying the topic for today. So look forward to the discussion and all your questions, not just like Ratnesh said, not just about the theme and about this particular aspect of creating your future, but in general about open learning that you might have. Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay. Yeah, and over to all of you to ask questions. And you can direct the question or you can just throw a generic question.
And you can also type it out in the chat window in case you don't want to talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vijay.
Yeah, I have a question, Ratnesh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so see, when we say open learning and self-paced learning or like the child chooses what to learn in, like they explore it. This is the idea behind open learning, right? So my question is that, sometimes in this city life, because we are living in a city these days, and where there are so many other children, they have different kind of exposures, and mainly the media exposures they have, and they are so much exposed to so much information all around that sometimes it impacts the child's the creativity and other things, and the child gets very much influenced with that kind of a environment, and they want to imitate that kind of environment by getting into more of media, more of video games, more of watching television and all that thing. So if we leave child to to do what they want to, they will choose this kind of a thing because they are surrounded by that kind of environment. So are you suggesting that for this kind of open learning, one should move to a very different place or environment, or this can be very much possible in a city environment also, where there is so many different kinds of people, different kinds of things are available? And I am concerned because my child gets attracted to video games a lot, and he wants to go to the media, and he wants to pick up my phone and do something, and he's very good in that. It's not that he's very quick and good, but I don't want to give him that phone. And that is what I feel, that if I give him, it's not good for him. That's what my whole idea is.
Sure.
Is it okay to give that, because that will create the impact on their mental mental aspect of it, physical aspect of it, and that's not good for their future learning. So media, I am very concerned, because
let's Tulika, throw this question to Avani, right? Me and you are of a different generation, but Avani is right there, the kind of thing that you're talking about. So Avani, you tell us, how do you look at all this games and media and YouTube and TV and all that? And how does...
First thing, I don't like games. If you give it to me, okay, I can play. It's okay. But one thing is, I also get attracted to TV or screen a lot. My mother keeps reminding, and it's kept on going like that for many years. And sometimes I get scolded, and I don't just think about it a lot. Again, the next day I'll start watching or do like that. But one thing is my concern. I prefer a big screen because I at least can't see in a small screen. I have joined from a mobile because laptop is not working. At the worst case, I'll do it in the mobile. And when the laptop is not working, if it's like have to do it, then I'll go to the next device. Otherwise, I don't go like just I want to watch this. Just go and watch. I'll think a bit because my eyes are more important than entertainment.
So, Avni, what would you suggest to any parent if they are concerned about their child's device usage? Would you suggest that they control it? Would they suggest let the child control it? What do you suggest?
I suggest let the child just explore it because I have explored it and my mother keeps on telling don't watch screen, and then one day she told do whatever you want, and then I started watching, and after a long time my eyes started paining and then my head started paining, and then I got to know, okay, this is why. So I think children will also get to know like that by experience.
So, Tulika, to answer your question, which Avni has in a way beautifully answered, what I want to build on that is, for a moment, let's forget that it's about screen or it's about device. Let's realize it's about the child developing the ability to discern what is right and what is wrong, what is good, what is not so good, what is productive, helpful, what can take away things from me, what can give me. And these are not easy questions to answer. Even I, at this age of 52, still don't really know what is good or what is right or what is bad or what is, I'm still seeking my own answers. Now, isn't that beautiful when I transact that responsibility to the child, when I say you take responsibility to yourself, like how Avani is suggesting, then forget the digital part, the screen part, but the ability to understand oneself and ability to understand that vis-a-vis the world and see what I am copying from others, what I am not, and so on and so forth. I think that's the core ability that is being developed. And to me, that is what is open learning all about. It's not about the content. Meaning, today it's about a device. Tomorrow it could be about much bigger decisions that the child needs to take in life. And I think that's where all this understanding of oneself and understanding of the things around us, this ability is something that will hold really important. So I would bring in that perspective apart from the direct digital aspect question, which Avani, I think, does very nicely responded
What
to.
I do is I don't think about the screen at that time. If I'm interested, like really interested in that, I'll just move on with that. So I just don't watch screen like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so wonderful to hear, Avani. So in one small aspect which I just wanted to add here, like what about like if child becomes overwhelmed by seeing so many options around? So in that situation also one must leave the child with that that feeling of overwhelmed, or we should try to make some options available to them or help them to make choices better. Will that come into the open learning system or will
Yeah,
that
so
not?
Tulika, open learning is not an either or. It's not about leaving it to the child or taking the control. It's neither. Okay, open learning is co-creation, co-living.
Okay.
Right, where everything is discussed, where everything is explored together with inputs from everybody.
Right.
Even when we in our campus, when we are 20, 25, 30 people, anything comes up. Okay, somebody says food is too spicy, let's make it less spicy. We all gather together and discuss how much spice should be there, how do we make it to everybody's taste. So you see, even a small thing like spice can be a beautiful way for everybody to understand each other, to give feedback to each other, to work with each other, to co-evolve. And it's not an easy journey. There'll be conflicts, there'll be fights, there'll be discussion, there'll be debates, often not solved for weeks and months and sometimes even years altogether. But the point is not to solve life. The point is to live life.
Yeah.
If everything was solved, then what's the maza? Where is the spice of living? So the spice of living is in all of this co-creation, togetherness, kind of building things together. And yeah, as I said, kind of helping each other think, understand, listen, argue, debate, and develop this ability to live. So finally, open learning is about that. And if we understand that, then it's not about either the child nor about you. It's about all of us together.
Sure. That's
so it's a beautiful journey, and which I hope your device conflict never ends.
Yeah.
Because the more the conflicts are, the more discussions, the more learning.
Yeah.
And the more getting together. If there is nothing to fight, what's the point?
Yeah. A different way to look at it.
Ratnesh, I just want to add another small point here.
Please, Vichi.
Yeah, Tulika, the reality of life today is that devices are critical for any communication today, right? I mean, beyond the immediate family, and in many cases, families at work, and I need to talk, I need to communicate, right? So, in such a situation, I think it's like being able to learn a language, right? Being able to communicate in a new language. So there are, of course, problems, trappings, there are risks, and there are, of course, challenges. Now, each of those, like Ratnesh mentioned, is an opportunity to learn to decide what needs to be done if I were to face this situation without my parent being around, or when I'm much older myself, right? And a lot of us grappled with devices and technology ourselves as we grew up. I mean, I'm just assuming that we are all in the same age group. But we didn't grow up with mobile devices, forget smartphones, and we have adapted to this new technology and we are running with it. But then the children who grew up, I mean, it's like when I grew up, I was not allowed to use a ballpoint pen. I had to use an ink pen to write, right? It will spoil his handwriting. That was the thing that, it's like the ballpoint pen of today. So, give them a feature phone, don't give them a smartphone. Now, there's an argument to be made for both, either way. And each of us, like Ratnesh said, has to engage in that conversation and co-create, work this out together. Because when we say self-directed, it is not learning by themselves. Let's be very clear about that. The child is not let loose to go do your learning yourself, right? We engage with them. But when we engage, like Ratnesh was pointing out, who's the boss, right? Let's be very clear that it's the child who's driving it and not us. That's open learning, the way we practice it in Arohi community.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we can have more questions while Avni is typing in chat. Mother and father fight a lot over the lap. Thanks, Avni.
Me too.
My question is for Avni, little Avni. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I want to know how you feel when you're not going to school and somebody is posing your question. What are you doing in your life? What is your answer?
Okay. My answer will be I do craft and I cook example pancakes, and also some desserts, climbing and watching videos and making it.
And attending
Yeah,
open learning
these are-
meetups.
Yeah, clubs.
No, I'm talking about this particular meeting which you raised your hand. So
Yeah, this
we
also.
just made an announcement who would like to come for today's meetup, and Avni said, I would like to come. There you are. Right. So yes.
So you meet others when you go out to play?
I don't go out to play now because it's lockdown, and I don't want to take a risk.
No, I'm not talking about now. Otherwise, if it
Yeah. If there is no corona, I would love to play.
Okay. So what do you feel when they ask you why you don't go to school? What do you feel? Do you feel good, or like what do you feel when they ask you?
Okay, so it's not like I don't go to school. I had gone to school for last 2 years. One is the physical going school, and I was attending school only like exams and tests with Arohi clubs. Only the test and exam weeks I would not attend, and I would say I would feel proud actually. I'm not going to school. I'm not the same as others.
Thank you so much, dear.
Yeah, thank you.
More questions?
So Avani, you're so sweet in all hearing and answering to your respective questions. That's so sweet. And my question would be to Dibji. Am I pronouncing your name wrong? I don't know. So actually, when he introduced himself, you said like you were in 40 years of open schooling or something. I'm not sure that was the correct thing I heard. So I want to know more about you.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. So I mentioned that I am a self-directed learner because from the beginning I was very motivated to do what I wanted to do. Overconfident was the word that was more often used to describe me than anything else. I mean, I did a lot of formal education as well for a very long time. I did my PhD as well. But while I did all that, I had my own learning and education. I didn't let my schooling corrupt my education. So after I finished my PhD, I started working on things that I wanted to do and which changed over a period of time, of course, naturally, given that I was being influenced by all the things that I was doing. And now I work on farming and technology and some amount of IT as well. And I also work on policy and a lot of other matters with nonprofits and for-profit companies. And of course, with the government, different levels of the government. So when I said open learning and self-directed learning, I would like to emphasize that or underline that it's not exclusive, like Avni shared. She wanted to go do schooling for a couple of years. I think 1.5, 2 years is what? 2 years, right, Avni? Or 1 year?
Yeah, she said 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years of school.
Yeah, she did 2 years of schooling. And then she came back and she thought, okay, she'll like this. Maybe in another year or two, maybe she'll go back to school or college or something else. And I think one of the parents shared earlier that their children, the older one has done an NOS exams and is now going further to do other things. So, when we say self-directed learners, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're out of the mainstream completely and they're on their own in their own world. And when we say create your future, the future is not an exclusive bubble, in ether somewhere. It's very much in the real world. It's very much part of society and people in our own families, our own friend circles, and beyond as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your
Thank
question,
you.
Shamala.
Yeah.
See, let me use this opportunity to say that in a way, all of us are open learners. In the sense, at least once I'm assuming most of us have finished our whatever school, college, wherever we went for conventional education. So from the day you finished your college until date, you're nothing but an open learner. You are deciding what to do, how to do, what to invest your time, your day, week, month, year in. And you're going about it, and that may require you to learn different skills, and you have picked those skills along the way, sometimes joining up for a workshop, sometimes from colleagues, sometimes from people, sometimes on your own by doing it. So aren't we all just open learners? And just like we were open learners when we were 8 months old, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, it's the in-between period where we got, picked up and put in a structured environment and said, now school will teach you. You can't learn yourself, in a way, literally saying that way. Although even there, I would say, finally, I learned what I wanted to learn. I forgot what I didn't want to learn, which is lots.
Yeah.
At least I forgot a whole lot of what I picked up in the school. The point is that by our design, we are open learners. What that means is we like to decide what we want to do. And then if it's something that interests us, if something that draws us, then we like to invest a lot of energy into it, a lot of time into it. Sometimes we forget eating. Sometimes it goes late, deep into the night. And that is the beauty of, let's say, living. So I wouldn't even say open learning, open living. So Dwiji is doing that, Avni is doing that, I'm doing that, and I'm telling you all are doing that. Why not let the children also do that? That's my kind of, what should I say, a lawyer's speech in favor of open learning. I feel it's very simple. It's not at all complicated. It's like how I'm living life. Why not the child can live the life like that? And at any time of time, the child wants to learn something, the child can go to the person from whom to learn. Like my son wants to play football at a professional
Rajneesh,
level.
I think that connect.
Sorry?
Your internet seems to be having issues. Can you look if you can change your connection?
Okay. Okay. Now is it okay? Is it better now?
It's a little better, yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying was, and in that whole process, the learner is not wary of any formal or informal source of learning. I was giving the example of my son who wants to become a professional footballer. So obviously he will join a coaching, or a club where he's coached. So he has coaches to teach him football, and he wants to learn from them, and he likes learning from them. So it's not like the formal coaching aspect is removed from his life. But he considers that as part of a bigger picture which he has painted for himself, and he's repainting it as the journey grows. And that is the beauty of open learning. So it's not in any which way limiting, it is unlimiting yourself. Every option available in this world is ours, like that.
So I have a question around, maybe this is just to help me understand how the logistics of things work on your end.
Sure.
Let's say I have a child who's very interested in photography. Let's just as an example.
Sure.
How would he or she proceed with Arohi, for example? Would you, just to understand how, let's say my child wants to not just learn photography, but also, gets deeply into it and wants to just take it to the extent that they want to take it.
Sure. So this is easier to answer because we have a live example. Okay, so Sahil joined us. So Sahil is now, I think 19. Okay, he's 19 years now, but he was with Arohi when he was much younger, I think around 14 or 15. I'm not kind of now remembering. And his main interest was photography. right? Since you mentioned photography, let me tell his story. And if you go to the recordings of these Saturday webinar, on one of the webinar, he and his mother were our guests, and he's talking about his own life journey there, right?
Okay.
So the first thing is, the moment he said, I like photography, we said, okay, do photography. As simple as that. You know, somebody wants to like something, then do it. So he would roam around literally the whole day with a camera in his hand, exploring, talking, showing to different people, taking feedback, building his skills. Okay. Then obviously the whole community started asking him, okay, would you like to do this? Would you like to read this resource? Would you like to talk to this photographer? You know, then the community started supporting him by challenging him. Would you like to do this? You know, different inputs came from different people. And he started going to the next level of now going deeper into the science behind the camera, understanding the camera in more detail, understanding lighting in more detail, reading about it, watching videos, endlessly figuring out his camera, shooting the same objects with so many different ways of doing it. So much so that he really developed his interest quite a lot. And simultaneously, he had another interest, which was cars. So he was developing both his interests, but his main interest was photography. And then he reached a level where he felt that he's ready to learn more, like learn at a professional level. And the obvious choice was to do internships. So he started doing internships with different photographers, wildlife photographers, business photographer, this photographer. He would go and go on small trips with them, 1-day trip, 2-day trip, 5-day trip, take up small professional jobs, then get feedback, and so on. And this was by the time he was, what, 16, 17. And that's the time, obviously, he now realized, and there's a video about him talking that I don't want to give any 10th or 12th. So he never gave any 10th or 12th because he saw that he just wanted to learn photography more, right? And he started getting assignments because he started getting better. So he started saying, why do I want to give 10th and 12th when I'm already earning? Why should somebody give? There's a video recording also of his talking about this aspect. And then he went on. Initially, he did some jobs when he turned 18. He started doing jobs more related to cars and photography together. He got into a couple of nice projects, which gave him a lot of exposures of both cars and photography together, and travel also, which was another of his hobby. And then slowly, he started moving in more towards specialized photography. And then he joined an advertising agency, and he started working with them. And then there was a let's just call it very unfortunate tragedy in his family. So he had to move back to his hometown. But he's not the one to be easily. Now he started his own company, and he's doing. He has merged his photography business with social media and advertising, which he picked up at the advertising agency. And now he and one of his friends both together are running an organization in Cochin. If you need photography and social media, I can send you his number and you can give him more business. So what I'm trying to tell you is a perfect example of somebody who's interested in something, family is supporting, everybody else is contributing, everybody else is challenging him, not making it easy. He himself is challenging himself. And as he goes along, he develops a lot of other skills, people skills, how to go and talk, approach people, get assignments, a whole lot of learning. So he is now 19, 20, somewhere in that range. He has never been to a college, no degrees, no nothing. He's completely enjoying and doing his work. Although he himself was just on the other day call with me and saying, Ratnesh, uncle, there is hardly any photography work coming nowadays because of this COVID situation. So I'm fully focusing and learning about social media. There you go. He is not stuck with that. He knows that this is only a low time. The high time will come soon when he can do more of photography. So I went into this detail not to kind of just show that this is some great story, but more importantly, how it develops very organically with all the people around him, around the child or around the learner, supporting in many, many, many different ways. I'm sure if you ask him himself, he won't have a list of who all helped him and how all they helped him, but it just kind of grows that way. Yeah, in this particular case, he did not do any professional, but in other cases, like my sons, they can join a professional course also, like workshops or courses. But he did a lot of internships.
Yeah. So Ratnesh, I would just like to add, Malika, when we say in the Arohi community, we are not limiting the learning process to within this set of people.
Sure. Yeah, that's
A learner,
yeah.
We support them to go out and learn. So, so in that sense, it's like the, it's the
Double
fallback net kind of thing.
It's basically your network and the network of everybody in the community is what I'm sort of.
Yes, and beyond.
No. Wait. Arohi community consists of every single living human being on this earth, and the animals, and the places, and the buildings, and the forests, and the rivers. Right? That is the Arohi community.
Why did you leave out the rocks?
Okay, all the rocks, which rocks, and all the salt water, which is salty, and everything. Absolutely, the world is ours.
Yeah, and Malika, the other point that I felt I would like to underline there is that when we say photography or any particular thing, the idea is not to just stroke that one interest, right? Let the child pursue that interest, but there are a lot of things happening within the community. And whenever we are living on campus together, we are looking at not just doing our own thing, but also participating in what others are doing, right? And that offers a lot of other opportunities to pursue your own interest, especially when it comes to something like photography. And that 1 minute video that we just saw earlier, I don't know if you were around there. Great. So that 1 minute video was made by a member of the Arohi community.
Right.
A child who was interested in that, and so it's about not just doing it within, but also beyond, and also not just this one particular thing, but rather exposure to the various things that different people are interested in, because at the end of the day, it's about weaving stories and making sense of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of collateral learning which happens because there are so many people doing so many different things. So there's so much of rub off from each other. And that's the beauty of a community and being together.
How are you replicating this online right now?
Oh, we don't need to replicate. It is like 100 times more happening online because people can join from anywhere and can join anytime.
What is replicate?
Replicate.
How
what
are
is
you trying
replicate?
to create a similar type of environment as what you would have at campus? Let's say
Avni,
now
you want
that
to
you've
share?
gone to the campus.
Okay, I think Avni is a better person to answer. She has been in campus for many years and she is also very active in the online one. So she can tell you how the online thing is working. Avni, you want to share?
Okay.
However you see it.
Okay, so online things are great for me because because I when I really want to learn, I just go ahead and do it. And one thing is I can't learn when I can't see. So it's good for me when it's open campus, like when I'm in the campus and then learning. Online is okay for me, but I learn better things.
Maybe talk a little more of what all things are happening so that others get an idea about what's happening online. How is it happening online?
Online, there are clubs, and clubs are there are many clubs like art club, theater club, tween club, and some other clubs like history club, nature club, like reading club also. So these are all which I was also going. Yeah. And
what else happens?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Right. Okay. So to add to what Avni is sharing, the the replication is actually very natural. See, in a campus, when there are a bunch of people, let's say 30 children and adults are there, they will automatically get connected to each other. Somebody is doing something, oh, I also want to do it, and they will kind of get together and start doing it. There's no need of formal space. There's no need of formal introduction. There's nothing, people just get together and start doing things. Let's say somebody is whatever climbing a tree, 3 more will come and say, we also want to climb a tree. And then the 4 of them will be climbing trees and helping each other. So online also works very similarly. People get together and do things together, whoever wants to be together. They could be a mix of adults and children. There is no teacher. There is nobody controlling anything. It's the group which decides what they want to do. Only because it is online, there needs to be some way of coordinating it. So we have an online space on a platform called Discord, which is like you can say a more organized form of WhatsApp, where and it's a private space. So it's a community there and anybody can post anything, and there are lots of different channels. So what happens is we use that space to communicate, to connect with each other. Somebody can say, hey, let's do this. Like just yesterday, not even yesterday, today morning, somebody said, I haven't done doodling for a long time. And then immediately 2-3 people said, yeah, let's get together and do doodling, in a more sophisticated way. And then they're now trying to figure out what time they want to meet, and they can do doodling together. So there's no limit to who gets together, what age, what they do together. They decide what they do together. Apart from this, people take up projects. For example, we have a radio team which comes up with a radio show every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they put together it's a big team of 10-15 people who come and put up a radio show on different themes. So that's like a project where you have a deliverable at the end. Okay, or there are workshops conducted by different people. Like there is one child who is conducting a workshop on miniature models next week. So it could be a child conducting a workshop or an adult conducting a workshop. Plus, obviously, there are times when we all meet together just to exchange what each one is doing, just to help each other, support each other, get to know each other. So that's how it's actually very, very similar to campus. There is not major difference. The only difference is in the experience. Obviously, as Avni said, she can't have the people in front of her, which she would love to, which is possible in campus. But that's really just the constraint of this COVID situation, right? But otherwise, apart from, sorry, Avni, you wanted to share something.
Yeah, you can share after you.
Okay, and so that's the only constraint. And yes, there's obviously a use of technology and so on to connect with each other. Otherwise, as such, there is absolutely no difference. Anybody can raise hand and say, I want help in this, or I'm learning this. Can somebody show me? Can somebody guide me, mentor me? And somebody or the other will be there to guide. Like one child is guiding even some adults and some children on how to play chess, because he is like an expert in chess. So anybody can guide anybody can mentor, anybody can be a teacher. It's just
there is a club called Chess Club also for that particular
now
thing.
Chess Club started. So yes, so, and things are very organic. Anybody can start anything, anybody can take any initiative and move it in any direction, which is very similar to how it happens in campus.
At campus, we do it all together on one thing. Here we do it differently. That's it. Online.
Yeah, because we are all at our homes. There we are physically together, so we can just easily see each other. And yeah. Thanks, Avni, for adding that part.
Thank you.
Okay, more people, more questions.
I normally have a lot of questions. I'm very sorry about it. Okay, so my question to you is, what is if we don't give exposure to the child for different things, how will the child know whether he or she is interested in that or not? Okay, especially with limited resources, especially where we live, like in Mumbai, because the houses are small and because of the severe COVID situations here, we are not even able to go out. And even otherwise, even the city is free also, there are very limited things which we can do. So how do I give exposure to my child in that case? And how will the child know what are the capacities and where he or she can explore?
Okay. Okay. I somehow look at it very, very differently. I would say first of all, I start by saying the whole world is my resource room, right? And I look at anybody, any place, any medium, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a book, whether it's a magazine, everything to be a resource available to me to expose myself. I'm not even talking about child here. I'm saying anybody can get exposed by anything, right? There is no limit to what kind of exposure either I can get or I can offer to others, let's say children, right? And you're talking about Mumbai. Mumbai is like one world by itself. I would say everything is there. More than that, it's a super exposed space, right? I would say I am living in a village, right? I'm living in a village. In fact, the nearest village is also 3 kilometers from our campus, right? The nearest city is 20 kilometers, 22 kilometers. But even here, there is no dearth of resources. There are people, there's so many things. If I want to learn baking, I go to the nearest bakery and say, uncle, can I bake with you? If I want to sing, I'm sure I'll find somebody who is into singing and I can sing with them. If I want to dance, I can find somebody who is into dancing and dance with them. I can take children to anywhere and everywhere. We can go to railway station to find out how trains work. We can go to the electricity office to find out how electricity works, if that is what children want to find out. I'm saying there is absolutely no dearth of resources in this world. I have learned this little formula, okay, and see if that helps you. I say, first check out what are the resources within 1 meter of you, right? Which is basically you. You have so many resources in your hand, in your mind. You have so many ideas, so many interests in you. So that's the resources within 1 meter of you. Then look what is available within 10 meters, which means all your family members. They are resource people. They can give you a lot of exposures. Within 10 meters of within your home, you have so many things. You have all kinds of things, right? From washing machines to whatever, curtains, to bulbs, to books, to whatever. Then you draw a circle of 100 meters, which includes all the neighbors around your house, all the neighboring shops around your house, right? You can visit them, you can interact with them. Then draw a circle of 1 kilometer. Okay, what else is there in 1 kilometer? Then 10 kilometers, then 100 kilometers, then 1,000 kilometers. And if you travel like that, infinite kilometers, absolutely, Avni, the whole universe is yours. And everything is an exposure. Every walk and a talk down the street is an exposure. So there is so much, right? I would say million lifetimes is less to explore what all is available to me or to a child, right? That's the way I look at it. And I find, at least I think this way, that the world is really, really rich. My world, I'm not even talking about others' world. I'm saying my world is very rich, as in any human being. I would say Avani's world is very rich. Avani, is it rich?
Yeah, very rich.
The resources are available, but traveling time in Mumbai is so much that
100 meters, within 100 meters, you'll have so many people and so many things to expose the child. No traveling time required. Within a kilometer, you can walk. No traveling time required. See, don't talk about the COVID situation. If you're talking about the COVID situation, then you have to largely depend on internet, right? But that's okay. So what? If the times are like this, we adapt to the times, and then the internet is not even limited by travel time. And a click of a button, I can be in Alaska. Another click, I can be in the Amazon forest. Right? So time is absolutely no constraint.
You are very lucky to live in a village.
No. It's not about where you are living. Everywhere there, you have beautiful people, you have beautiful things happening, because each person can expose me to so many different things. That is the beauty. We just have to look at every place, everything, every person as a resource.
And Ratnesh, just a quick thing. We are all lucky to be alive. Live in a village, alive, right? So let's just recognize that, like Ratnesh said, each of us has a lot of things that we can do. It's a matter of being able to see it, right? And bring our mind to believe that we can do it, and we can find the resources for it. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's doable.
And it's more fun when we give off this responsibility to the child. It's not our responsibility. It's not my responsibility to bring any resources. It's the child's responsibility. I am there to support the child. I'm like a co-passenger with the child, but it's not my responsibility. And children find out resources. They are super smart. Any doubts about that? You can check with Avni. Avni, if you need any resource, are you able to figure out? She begs, borrows, troubles her parents, grandparents till she gets what she wants.
Yeah. Very much, very much.
Yeah, Smita. So I don't know, we have exactly answered your question, but that is the whole idea of open learning. So now you can ask me more questions.
So what about the careers? What is the career children choose? As once you said is photography. If there are certain courses which have this eligibility criteria. So if that is the thing, what we have to do in that case?
You don't have to do anything. The child will do everything. If the child wants to do something where the child requires an eligibility, then the child will go through that eligibility, right? I can give you another example. There is a child called Imad. He wanted to become a pilot, and he realized, he only researched, he came up with his research that in India, to become a pilot, you need to give 10th and 12th minimum. Then only you can get into an aviation academy. And so he said, okay, now I have to give 10th. And he's like 16 years at that time when he gave 10th. And then he suddenly realized that he hasn't studied maths after third or fourth level, right? So he had to kind of brush up his maths from 5th level to 10th level in about 8 to 9 months or about a year. And he did that. And he got decent marks also because he wanted to do that. You see the difference? The difference is not because somebody said 10th, they 9. No. He wants to give 10th for his own reason. So he sits and learns what he needs to give that examination. So as Vijay was mentioning earlier, we are not limiting ourselves as open learners. We are actually unlimiting. Every option is available, including college, including schools, including aviation academies, and whatever is required to do that, the child will. And obviously with our support, that is where our support comes, really. So Avni is getting bored. She's saying, ask me some questions. Right, Avni?
Yes.
Yes. So ask Avni some questions. Or rather, whichever next question you ask, Avni, you answer. Even if we don't know anything, let's answer. Right? Oh, there's so many people now in the call. Come on, you can ask lots and lots of questions. We are here to answer.
Shoot questions.
Avni is dying to be shot. People die after being shot. She's dying to be shot.
I'm asking for the shooting.
Sure. Hi, Apeksha. You wanted to share something or ask something?
Yeah, so hi Avni, this is Apeksha. I just wanted to ask you that do you ever feel insecure or like kind of something when you are going through this open learning, like as a child, do you ever feel that what career I'll be choosing or what I'll be doing in my, since you are so insightful, since you're, I mean, at this age, do you have any kind of this insecurities?
Okay, what is insecurities?
Okay. I got my answer, Avni. I got my answer. This is sweet. Yeah.
We need to learn from Avni and all other children to live in the moment and not, worry ourselves about future and grow more organically. Yeah, but Avni, just for your clarification, so insecurity is when you worry about something, what will happen to me? Will I be able to do something? Will I be able to, let's say, earn a lot of money, or will I be able to live a good life? When people have these kind of worries, I don't know whether you get these kind of worries or not. Those are normally called insecurities. Are you getting a vague idea? right? So now would you like to respond to that? Do you ever worry about your
Okay. Yeah. I don't feel insecure with the Arohi community space, but when I'm sleeping alone or when I watch something and sleep, that time I feel something will come and attack me and all those characters and everything. That I'm okay. I just want to sleep with my parents. But I don't feel insecure with the Arohi community because
also in terms of future, what will happen when I become 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? 50
no,
years?
I don't get those insecurities, thoughts, and all because I know what I'm going to be in the future. A baker or I'll be in Navy. That's all. That's all I know about my future.
She's able to decide it so easily, and it's become tough as a parent now.
Yes, I recall an incident when I started with my career in teaching. One of my students said, when I was asking everybody, what do you want to do with your life? Everybody used to tell, I would like to become a scientist, a MBBS, engineer, this, that. And one girl, Divya, she stood up and said, I want to be a very good housewife. And everybody laughed at her, but I hugged her and I said, I really love you.
Absolutely, that's a full-time career.
Yeah, I would also.
Very good. I love you, Avni. And this is my virtual hug to you.
After you join Discord and all, you can put gifs to me.
Oh, sure.
Okay, more questions to any one of us, Avni, me, Viji, anybody, or you can just ask a question. We'll see who can respond. As some of you in your introduction were talking about, I want to start homeschooling and I'm thinking how to start, where to start. So if you have questions like those also, you can ask here. And if all the questions are not coming to you right now, you're most welcome to do two things. One is look up, we have around 60 odd recordings of previous 60 odd webinars, which we have done in the previous 60 Saturdays. So you can go through those, as well as you can attend the future 60 webinars or meetups, which we'll be having in the future 60 Saturdays. So both the options are available, as well as you can always connect with us, give us a call and chat with us if you want to talk to other parents. Especially some parents ask me, do you have another parent which has child of my child's age? So yes, we would have parents of all children of all different ages, so we can help you connect with those also. So all of these options are available. I'm just kind of, I kind of know that you would know this, but I'm still repeating it for everybody's benefit. But yes, we are right here. So if you have a question today, you can ask that. And if you have a question in future, you're most welcome.
So, Dviji is his name?
Yes.
Sir, like how do you help as a community to other homeschooling parents? Like you said, you all together help people who are doing homeschooling or unschooling or whatever you call it. So how do you help them?
How do we help? Actually, we don't help. As in, our purpose is not to help anyone. We engage, we are learning ourselves, and we share the joy of that learning. What I'm trying to say here is that the object of the engagement is not to help someone. The object of the engagement is to enjoy that process of co-learning, because I might know differential equations, but when I'm teaching that, or I'm engaging with a young mind seeking to learn, or an old mind for that matter, young not in terms of age or but in terms of interest, someone who is new to it, then the questions they ask will make me think about what I'm sharing too. So in that sense, the idea of open learning and doing things with open learners is not about teaching them something. We are not trying to do a curriculum there. They have identified that they want to do differential equations, and whenever they have questions, whenever they're stuck, whenever some concept is not clear, we are there to explain that particular thing to them. But then they set the direction, they set the pace. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's not that we conduct classes. That's what I'm trying to get to, that we do not conduct classes. It's not that, oh, I am I have done physics, math, so I'll take physics classes. That might happen too. If a student, if a child is interested and wants to take up a coaching like engagement, that's possible too. But most engagements are not such. Most engagements are where they're trying to explore, they're trying to see, okay, how does this particular thing work? How does that particular thing work? So in such situations, we are not conducting classes, as in we are not helping a student do something, helping a child do something. But most engagements are such that we, we co-learn, we co-explore in some sense, co-travelers on this exploration.
I didn't mean the help kind of teaching kind of help, like guidance, like.
Okay, so how do we engage? Like, for example, I love cooking, and I cook a lot. And I had posted that I had made pita and something else, and somebody in the food club said, "Hey, Dwiji uncle, can you show us how to make pita?" I said, "Okay, these are the things that we'll need to do in preparation. This is how we do it. This is how we make it." We had a session and we shared that. So that's one way of doing it. Someone else might come and ask, "Hey, you are doing millets. So how does this happen in millets?" Right? So, and then I explain that, and the engagements can be set according to your your negotiation with the learner, right? Because they have the urge to learn, and they're out to convince you that you have to spare time for them. So, and to be frank, I am not easy to get. let them fight it out. I give them some questions, I lead them to some resources and say, okay, you see these things and then you come back, right? So each of us engages in our own way.
Also, when we are together, Smita, it happens very naturally. Let me put it this way. Let's say some of your relatives, let's say son, you find out that that person is interested in, let's say, whatever, let's say outer space, right? Astronomy, right? Now, if you happen to see an article on astronomy and you think this is a nice article, what will you do? Wouldn't you naturally send it to his mom or send it to him? It will be a natural thing. You won't think twice. Immediately when you see an article on astronomy or a nice video, or you see an event coming up in a newspaper, oh, there's an astronomy, something happening, an astronomy festival happening, immediately that child's name would come in your mind, right? It's the same thing. So just imagine we are a large joint family of 30, 40 families. And the moment something comes up, somebody says, I like doing this, tuck, 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 people start saying, okay, somebody says, here's a resource. Somebody says, I know one friend. Somebody says, would you like to do this? Somebody says something. So it's something which is very organic and very natural, because we are all together. We know what each other does, right? I know Avni likes to make things out of cardboard, for example, right? So if there's some project that comes up which is with cardboard, I'll say, Avni, there you go, right? So that's how it works. It works very naturally, and each one of us is challenging, pushing, feeding, taking help, and so on and so forth, and teaching wherever it is possible to each other. So yeah, that's how the community supports with each other. It's not one person or one group supporting the rest. It's everybody supporting the rest in many different ways. Sometimes the support is just by being there to be a listener or to be a student. Just to say, okay, you know this thing. Like I can go to Avani and say, hey, you know how to make pancakes. Will you teach me? So my learning from Avni is not just me learning. Avni teaching me how to make pancakes is also learning for Avni. So it works both ways. The teacher learns more than the taught. Right. So that's how it works. Right? It's all very organic and very spontaneous. And
Yeah, that's like a practice for
yes,
whoever is teaching.
absolutely, Avni.
So I will surely try after the pandemic that I will visit you. And I don't know where you live, but yes, I will surely make it that I'm going to visit with my child.
Yes. Okay. More questions? Anybody else has questions for today? Anything still in your mind? Also, I want to tell that open learning isn't about that you get all your doubts clear and then you start open learning. Right? It is like saying, I need to know everything about the children only, then I will become a parent. Or I need to know everything about horse riding and only then I will climb a horse. So it's not like that. It's a journey which is filled with doubts, which is filled with challenges, which is filled with problems, which is filled with ups and downs, with difficult days and easy days and tough days and crying days and laughing days, just like anybody's. That is why we say it's not different from life. It is just living your life. And life will be full of all kinds of challenges, obstacles, burnt pancakes, sweet pancakes, raw pancakes, good pancakes, bad pancakes. Right, Avni? Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I think Malika, yeah, you were on mute. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I have to drop now. This was a wonderful conversation, and thank you so much to Avni for your very unique perspectives. I really enjoyed hearing them. So thank you all.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Malika. Right. So yeah, it's also 6:30. Yeah, if people don't have more questions, we can possibly pause here. But if you still have questions, we can hang around and answer your questions. So you decide.
No, I initially had like, I want to ask this, I want to ask that. But now what about what you said, and you just don't do anything. Let the child explore. You just guide them. That's all you need to do. That I got this answer. That was
Yeah, and
so
I'll
sweet
add to
with the
that.
conversation.
You don't even have to guide them. You start learning too. You learn what you like learning, they will
Yeah,
learn what they would like learning, and together you become a learning family, and then you join more families and you will become a learning community, and then the learning community joins more communities and we become a learning world.
true. True. And thank you for doing this, Haravi Life Education. Like, you're doing an awesome job. This is much needed this time, and this will be more useful for the next generation to explore themselves more earlier. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm being a 32 and I'm not able to find what's my passion, what I'm like to do. But when I'm seeing Avani, she's more open. She's able to explore herself. She's able to answer, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. So this is the thing we need the next generation to learn such things. So you people are doing an awesome job. Let more people come into this community, and I'll introduce to my friends circle and let them know about you and all those Rohi Life Education, all of those things. Thank you guys. Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Sharmila. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think what do you say, Avni? Shall we pause here and people have more
Yeah, we
questions?
can
They
pause.
can. Okay, so we'll go by whatever Avni says, and Just reminding, you can be back here next Saturday. If you have more questions during this week, you can connect with us one-to-one also if you have questions. And if you want to join Arohi community, you're most welcome. For that also, you can connect with us directly. Yeah. So, yeah, let's say thank you. Let's say bye-bye. And